We begin with this story this hour. The Gauteng Education Department's online system is once again proving to be problematic. MEC Matome Chilwane says the system is working just fine. However, on the ground, it's a different story. At one district office, parents queued for hours only to be told to come back today. Parents claim they followed all the instructions, yet their children are still not placed. Now, why does the province have this problem every single year? Well, senior reporter Aviwe Mdila is at Westside Primary School, where parents are complaining about infrastructure and overcrowding. Aviwe, a very good morning to you, and please just tell us or give us an update of what exactly is happening in terms of the placements in the area in which you are in this morning.
Where's my wimpom sharing?
Well, when it comes to the placement colleague, the MEC of Education in Gauteng will tell you that in this Ekurhuleni area, they filled to capacity. In fact, they now have two options. That is either their children stay at home or their schools are overcrowded themselves. So it's the latter that is most likely going to happen. And I want to take you then inside Westside Primary School, where already the school is overcrowded. I want to speak to some of the parents here while my colleague Tami Chamane shows you the reality of how overcrowded Kempton Park is. In fact, if you are to apply late here, you are told the available slots are either in Soweto, Johannesburg or Pretoria, far off from Kempton Park. Petra, let me start with you. Maybe tell us about Westside Primary School and just maybe the number of learners here and how the learning conditions are.
Westside Primary is one of the most, I would say, for the community. This is the school for the community. But I feel that we've been neglected by the Department of Education. Their interest as if Westside Primary has totally fallen off the school bus. If we look at it at the present figure at the moment, we are looking at 845 children that needs to be accommodated. This is typical classrooms. During raining seasons, these kids has got to be rescued. Winter time, this is the type of condition. Canvas room that was originally on your right hand side, you will see that there is a canvas room that was originally allocated for teachers' room that had to be changed over for a classroom. This is totally unacceptable. Our children deserve much better.
And how many learners do you have here?
At the moment, we've got 845. But obviously there is a possibility of more children. And at the moment there's 17 classrooms, 3 site offices, 2 site offices that obviously need to be exchanged. One old classroom that is been donated years ago by one of the companies, and you can see the conditions of the floor is busy falling apart. It's got to be patched, which is a high risk for our children, and this is totally unacceptable.
Totally unacceptable, says Petra. Yeah, one of the parents. In fact, I actually want to do somewhat of a quick walkabout, colleague. Forgive me for the time. I'll bring in some of the parents. Miranda, let's walk the side. Show us exactly what's happening and what our viewers don't see.
Okay, so what we're seeing is there's not much classrooms, and the classrooms that are here are either falling apart, there's no tables. We've got kids learning in the open. This here is our sports field. We've been allocated a sports field that has never been done for 5 years. We've been promised it. We have been given this whole park and nothing has happened. They've brought some of the fencing, but it's never been done. And before the close of school last year, we were supposed to receive 6 classrooms, which were never delivered.
I'm concerned about the summer rains. I'm seeing the learning outside there. They're being told, what happens when it rains?
What can they do? They go and sit inside under the shelter, or they can't even have a class. What are they going to do? This is our future. These are our guys that are going to high school next year. What are they going to learn?
And I have some parents here who've come out in numbers. Maybe tell us your plight then as parents as we see the conditions and the overcrowding of, this is just one school around Kempton Park.
Yeah, I think it's needed education, Minister of Education to sort this out. We are sick and tired of kids, as you can see, they outside. Us as parents sitting around here, we know the first problem is we have to have this school, more classes, and it must be, we need a high school in this place. As kids are around here and they're doing nothing, they get deployed to other schools as Davidton, and transport money is about 800 rands. I think in 2 years it's going to be 1,000 rand, and we don't have work, and everyone is around. So we think it needs to be sorted out. Us as community, as parents, we are let down by the government that we've voted for. We think this must be sorted out once and for all. Thank you.
I want to touch with you, ma'am, on some of what the MEC has said in terms of the schools being full to capacity, but the reality is there's some 1,394 learners that still need to be placed. So the reality is more learners can be put in schools such as West Side Primary, which are already overcrowded. Your sentiments as a parent then?
At the end of the day, we're sitting at a catch-22. Yes, the government is allocating children to the school, but our question to the MEC is, where are we placing these children when there are no more classrooms, where there are no more tables and chairs for them? If they are willing to allocate children here, they need to allocate classes as well as tables and chairs, expand the area for the kids, because we were promised it 5 years ago, expansion for the school, yet nothing has happened. So we as the parents are asking the MEC, we want the school to be expanded so that there can be more learners to be accepted in the school of Westside Primary as well as in high school within the area. That makes it easier for the parents in the area to put their kids in the school. More teachers, less transport money, less having to worry about how am I going to afford my children in another school, because Westside Primary is local.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to ask my colleague Tammy to come with me quickly as we close off, colleague. I'll need to show you the space that the parents say has already been allocated as an area for more classes to be built. Just across that fence is an extra additional area. It's about, 200, 300 square meters, I beg your pardon, that is available for there to be additional classes. They say that they were given that land by government already, but as we open the curriculum year of 2023, there is an issue of overcrowding, yet there is space around Kempton Park which is already full to capacity in many of the schools, and parents told to go as far as Soweto, Johannesburg and Pretoria.
Very concerning developments around the story, indeed, Aviu Mdila, especially because of the overcrowding that already persists across different parts of the country. That is senior reporter Aviu Mdila bringing us the very latest out in Kempton Park around the provision of space for children to start the academic year in that particular community. Now, as schools reopen for this particular academic year, there is a primary school that was expected to welcome hundreds of learners today, but according to parents, the school is just falling apart. They claim that the school is in no condition for teaching and learning to take place, and parents are now calling on the education department to provide mobile classrooms. Earlier this morning, there was an altercation between parents and some EFF members. Reporter Heidi Giokos is on the ground and is covering developments around the story for us. Heidi Giokos, a very good morning to you, and we're just wondering what exactly happened earlier on with the altercation and really just the broader issue around the provision of space for learners to begin their academic year.
Yes, so I think what's important to highlight here is that the situation does remain a little bit chaotic, and the reason for this is because parents have rejected the intervention from the EFF. They feel as though this is not a political matter and there should be no political affiliation to the story. They just want children to be in a conducive environment, a safe environment, and we had been alerted by parents that a ceiling had fallen, but it was the same ceiling. First, and yes, while it might be speaking about COVID-19, how do you have placards up that speak about safety first when the school is completely dilapidated? I'm going to ask my colleague Mokhomotsi to just walk with me so we can actually show you the particular classroom where we've shown this to you this before already, but let's just re-emphasize the serious issue of safety here. This ceiling has apparently already been fixed and it collapsed some time ago, but let's just have a look again at the ceiling and just show you that this apparently had fallen. It was repaired.
Heidi Giokos, it seems that we're having a little bit of a problem with your network connection. I'm going to try and get you to explain the visuals that you are showing us of a fallen ceiling. Please just continue your explanation around what happened in this regard.
Yes, so it just seems as though the ceiling has collapsed about a week ago, if I'm not mistaken, and we do understand that when the district office, together with the SGB and parents, had indicated a while ago that there are serious infrastructure challenges here, this is when, according to parents, people came in to do patchwork. This is what parents are claiming, and then it seems as though this collapsed. But I'm going to try and get outside because it seems as though the connection issue is here inside. If I can just try and get through here so we can try and understand why we're having connection issues. Let's just move out this way so we can continue explaining. But parents are extremely frustrated. I think what's even more worrying, and what's worrying is the fact that children are looking at the situation and they seem quite startled and quite panicked. There are too many people here. There's just too much going on. Parents are really angry and frustrated. They are shouting and they are saying they want the SGB to come out and explain what's going on. The initial altercation started when the SGB agreed, together with the principal, agreed to meet with members of the EFF and not with parents. And this is when parents decided to storm the boardroom and say that they want to also be part of the meeting. They then asked the EFF to leave the school premises because they don't feel as though they're going to provide any solution. So parents are very frustrated, they're very angry, they want a clear indication of when exactly schooling will commence, when those mobile classrooms will be sent to the school, as well as ablution facilities, because we know that only one block of toilets are working.
So you've engaged the parents about their frustrations around these issues that you've just shown us, Heidi, which are very concerning, by the way. Have you been able to speak to any of the leadership at the school, head teachers, for example, heads of department, around the situation and their thoughts on what the school looks like on the first day?
So we are not allowed to engage with, for example, any teacher or the principal. It needs to come from the district manager or from the Department of Education. We have reached out to the spokesperson for Gauteng Education, Steve Mabona, and he says he isn't aware of the situation, but will be looking into this. It's a matter of urgency, though, Ropiwa, because learners cannot be taught in such an environment. It's a safety risk. It's a concern. I'm going to just try and walk this way, but perhaps that's not a good idea because now the learners are coming out of their classroom. But I wanted to show you the one specific step, and maybe we can just walk with them, of course not showing them, but just show you one specific step that is a concern. I mean, even if you can see here, it's completely dilapidated and there's clearly no maintenance that's taking place at this particular stage. But let's see if we can get to that particular step that parents have been complaining about, given the fact that it is of concern. I'm not sure which one it is, if it's further down or if it's on the other set of stairs, but these stairs are very unstable, and you know, you have children running up and down here all the time. It doesn't seem as though it's going to get any better. I have found the stair. If Mohamotsi can just follow me, it's on the other set of stairs, if I can just walk that way. But I mean, I myself have to be extra careful when walking, but if you can just follow me to this side, Ropiwa, it just doesn't seem as though there has been any maintenance happening here, and it's just not working out. But I am walking up the stairs. I hope my colleague Mohamotsi can still see me, but it's this particular stair that just seems to be quite a problem, and I don't understand how this has been allowed. You can see it's bending, there's even holes in it, and if you're now trying to go up and down the stairs, apparently the learners actually avoid that stair. I mean, it's completely bent over. So it really seems as though there are infrastructure challenges here, and not a lot has been done to sort this out.
Quite concerning. You actually did get to speak to an EFF representative as well as a parent. Let's just play those bites very quickly for our viewers so they can hear from the people themselves what exactly are their biggest concerns.
Parents, I wasn't informed about what is going on. There's been no formal communication from the school informing us that there's a crisis. We are aware that there's a crisis with infrastructure in the school, but the school would have made contingency plans. The problem is that there's lack of communication, either from the principal or from the SGB. And we feel this is an injustice to the black child. Other children are out there learning. It's the first day of school. They're enjoying their day in school. But we're standing out there and we don't understand what is going on. I don't think that is fair to the child. My concern is the learner. This is my grandchild, right? We woke up this morning, he's excited about coming to grade 2. But here we are, we're standing outside and there's absolutely no information from the school about what is going on.
Heidi Giokos, I'm going to leave you to continue investigating the situation at the school. Hopefully you'll get some feedback from Steve Mabona during the course of the day in terms of the way forward. Although I do imagine with the many issues that persist in the province, he's quite the busy spokesperson today. That is reporter Heidi Giokos bringing us the very latest from that school and the various issues that parents are dealing with at the moment.